Welcome to Crawl or No Crawl. This is Carolyn Holzman, and today is October 16th. I did not report yesterday because, frankly, I have never seen what I'm about to show you. I've never seen it before in this research. So if you're having a weird time with your rankings, you may want to take a look at some of these findings. So first, let me say you're looking at the data log of the Indexation Research, where all the dates and the times and the updates are laid out, so that we can kind of confirm if Google is taking in new content and also using bots, the number of bots, which version of the Chrome bot, so forth, to inform what we're seeing. And every day except for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are observation days. So I want to describe what I'm seeing in a useful way. Even if we can't change it for the time being, it might inform our actions during this time and perhaps in the future. So, all right. Semrush is back in a normal range, 2.4. We had that little bit of a spike on Thursday. It kind of sent everybody either running for the hills or grabbing for some beverages. So I'm not really sure what I'm seeing. And as you know, I've been testing new content indexation for over a year. Now, last year, there was no successful indexing using Google's recommendations on how to use Search Console and request indexation. It wasn't until February of this year that basically we discovered that if you don't follow Google's guidelines, you get really good indexation rates using the API. Now, this is the fourth quarter that I've had documentable new content indexation prior to the beginning of Q4. And it started first, I want to say, as rollbacks. If you're a regular watcher, you know I was mentioning that earlier in the week. Now, I define a rollback as content that previously was findable by its keywords becoming no longer findable by its keywords. And usually we've seen that when they've been testing out the new Chrome builds on the bots, and it's always worked out, like they put everything right back where it belonged. However, this is proving different. Now, a little background, this test site is set up as a WordPress site and trying to imitate normal conditions. And many of you know the interlinking within a WordPress site is just built into the WordPress software. You have to work to not have it interlink. Now, this was obvious in the early days of SEO testing, even going so far as there was a WordPress theme that was developed that all of that interlinking was kind of stripped out. So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that the test keywords are pulling up the category pages. So if there were 5 posts attached to the same category, both the simple and JavaScript keywords assigned to those 5 test pages for a total of 10 keywords, 5 simple, 5 JavaScript. Each one of those 10 keywords pulls up the category page. So, we do know that WordPress category pages are strong. And let's say if that was all related topics for, let's say, business, it makes sense that all those links to that category page would strengthen it. So why did not only these pages go through a rollback, like they started to be not findable by their keywords, but it seems like they've had their keywords essentially reassigned to a page that has more backlinks. So you're following me? They not only went in a rollback thing, but it looks like the keywords that they would have been findable for and still are in a way have been assigned to the category page. Now, another reason it took me a full day to report is I checked each one of those URLs in Search Console to see if anything had changed. And they are still showing up as indexed, not findable by their keywords. And that starts for content that was published the week of September 16th and going backwards. From that time period back into the year, the keywords have been reassigned. Now, the test content after September 16th appears to be in a rollback. I presume, going in the same direction to where its keywords are going to be reassigned. So it's possible that you have content that is showing as indexed in Search Console, but that is not being served. I remember there was somebody in Facebook that was talking about this, and I had not seen this. So I kind of wish they'd reached out because I'd have another data point to compare it to. So if you go back to the 3 indexing components that make up the indexation system, and we do it looking at, through a 4th quarter lens, we know the crawl system has tested almost 2 months to get a crawl of a page. We know the indexation or the indexing system using the Google Indexing API gets our content, boom, right into the supplemental index. Now what we may be seeing, and this is my opinion based on looking at this for a lot of days, what we may be seeing is how the serving system does it. It's possible the serving system may be where keywords are assigned to our content. And in Q4, the criteria or perhaps filter to win a keyword seems to be at a much higher threshold. So your pages are published, they show as indexed, they are just no longer findable by their keywords because they haven't earned it. And again, I'm not saying like you did anything wrong or we did anything wrong. It's just a question of they changed the filter or the threshold to assign a keyword, it would seem. So operationally, that would appear to be a loss of ranking because you're no longer tracking for that keyword. A loss of traffic because what you used to get, you don't get anymore. And maybe that is because the current criteria for that keyword assignment has shifted. So let's look at the bots. All right, so here we are, the 15th. We had pretty much gone 3 days, well actually close to 3 days, 2 days, without any refresh render crawls, possibly. Now yesterday, this is a new one. It's called Googlebot 16. It's the sibling to the mobile version 16 that just started on the 10th. And as you can see, it's very likely moving forward, we're not going to see mobile 15 or desktop 15 anymore. That 16 won it, and so they test first the mobile, and then when the mobile wins, they issue the desktop. Now, I'm inclined to almost consider launching an additional test site in Q4 and set all of the pages to the same category and see if there's a threshold for the number of internal links to assist keyword assignments in Q4. That is all speculatory, okay? So I should say speculative. So don't freak out. Don't do anything. If you're considering, it's like probably off-site backlinks might be hard to get indexed at this point, but if you can maybe look at your internal linking, make sure you don't cross topics or things like that. You want to make sure that you don't introduce additional confusion. If you know what you're doing, you might want to try that. But otherwise, I think this is why Q4 is so tough for a lot of marketers, is that the criteria shifts in Q4. It's been described as backlinks become more important, and that very well could be true. And the fact that we're looking at it on a site level, we sort of see how it plays out, how it actually plays out, the mechanism by which. So we're kind of keeping our eyes on this. So this is new. This was not available to see before, and we always know Q4 is very, very turbulent, especially if you're trying to rank based on your content. All right, that's it for today. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will try and report again tomorrow morning and see if everything looks the same. Bye.